Hello, today's DIY with Clutchy is how to change a water filter on your fridge. I have a Samsung fridge, so this is my filter replacement. Now, a couple things. One is if you've already done this filter change out and you're having this problem with this light, you can see it here, the filter light on there. I've talked to a lot of people that don't understand that how to get rid of that light, so I'm going to talk about that first. And then if you've already changed this, you can just simply go to that part and skip the rest of the video. But for people that haven't changed this filter, a couple things. They should probably be changed once every, I'd say 6 months, maybe to a year. They're kind of expensive at the box stores. This is probably 35 bucks or so at, say, a Home Depot. You should be able to find it a lot cheaper online on Amazon. And you can find the Samsung or even a replacement that's close that'll fit, that's not branded Samsung or whatever the fridge that you have. Now I'm going to actually show this. Now I'm going to actually show you how to do in the next part how to get rid of this annoying light on your fridge, because I know a lot of people don't actually know how to do that. Even I didn't know how to do it originally. It was almost by accident that I figured it out. So let me show you that. Okay, so here's this annoying light, and it is flashing filter. And even if you've changed your filter, you may still have this light on your fridge. What a lot of people don't know is how to actually change out or to stop that. Now on all fridges it's really quite simple. You see there's an alarm there. If you hold for 3 seconds, it will reset that filter for you. Now I'm not going to do that right now because I actually need to change my filter out, so I want to change that today. That's going to be the rest of the video. But for you that have already gone and changed your filter, you may wonder, why is that light still on there? Well, because the fridge isn't smart enough to know you change a filter out, right? So if it's still flashing, do that. Some people actually have another filter too. A friend of mine, I'll show you their fridge. I'll split that in. They have a different, they actually have two lights. I think they have like an air filter and they have two filters. I forget what the other one is, but again, same principle, hold and reset. But don't do that unless you've changed it out. And why, maybe I should say, why do you want to change out this filter? Well, because it's simply just a carbon filter. It actually works. I mean, people would have Brita filters. You don't want to have this in your fridge collecting bacteria for years and years and years and years and years. You definitely want to change it out 6 months to a year. To have good, clean drinking water, you know, it's nice to have a filter. So just change it. Don't be cheap. All right. And like I said, go on Amazon. You can find them a lot cheaper. Here's another example. This is a Maytag fridge. And when you grab your water, you can see you have both a water filter and an air filter. But if you look, hold for 3 seconds for the water filter. It says hold for 3 seconds. So you hold this in for 3 seconds and this light will go off. Same thing with the air filter. So replace it, hold for 3 seconds, and it will give you a 6-month timer. Okay, so I've actually pulled my fridge out. If you're in a house, before you change your water filter, the first thing you need to do is shut your water off to your fridge. Now, if you live in a house, the easiest way to do that is just to shut your water main off, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now, if you're in a condo, it's likely that either A, you won't have one of these because they don't like having water leak issues, or B, if you do have one, that there's a hose in the back of your fridge. It'll run underneath your sink and there will be a shut-off valve, just like something you would see in your bathroom for your toilet. So I will show you what it looks like behind my fridge. You don't need to do this. I just want to show you this so you can see what it is. So here's my water line here that runs down here on my house. I'm in a bungalow. That's my water supply line. So that water supply line supplies water into my fridge. Now in my basement, I want to show you this. I have what's called a ball valve. Now, what a ball valve is basically the way they work. See if I can get a picture here for you. The way they work is actually just like they sound. It's a ball valve. It actually shuts off. I don't know if you can see inside of there. So let me grab a flashlight so I can show you what it looks like inside of there. So inside of here, there is this thing. You'll see it's open right now. And when it's closed, you'll see that it is got what looks like a ball inside of there. Get a better look for you there. So that's what's called a ball valve. Or sometimes it's called a swing valve. Actually looks like a ball inside of there. So let me just open and close it so you can see what happens when it opens and closes. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So that's closed. And then as I turn it to be parallel with the pipe, it opens up. Let's do that slowly again so you can see that. That's a swing valve or a ball valve. And the way they all work, they're all exactly the same. This is one for my outside garden, but imagine your water main is just one pipe. There's a supply coming in from the city and it's going on the outside. When it's perpendicular to the pipe, it's always shut off. When it goes like that, and that's as far as it goes, is quarter turn, it's always closed. As you can see, it's open here, turn it perpendicular, and now it's closed. They all work the same way. Now, you might also have in your house a valve that's actually a round, it's a round handle on it. Maybe a lot of older houses had a round handle. Everybody should know where your water main supply is. In case you ever have a water leak, shut that off. It shuts water off to the whole entire house. So you should really know where that is. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you downstairs and I'm going to show you my water main that'll shut off supply to the whole house, including the fridge. Okay, so this is my house. And as you can see, I'm in a bungalow. I'm in Canada, so our water runs 8 feet underground, so it doesn't freeze. And you see it's coming up through my concrete floor. It's coming up. There's a valve there. You don't need that one. Now here is my ball valve in my house. So right now, I closed it off because I want to do this change. So you can see it is actually perpendicular to my pipe. Now if I swing this way, now it's open. So it's perpendicular to my pipe, my feeder pipe. It's parallel to my feeder pipe. When it's perpendicular, that's when it's shut off. Swing it a quarter turn. Now my water supply is shut off. Now you'll typically almost always have that shut off valve prior to your city meter. This is my city meter here. So it looks like on the inside, and that's what meters the water that's coming into your house and feeding your house. So this meter, registers all the water coming in, then some water goes to your hot water tank. Water goes all throughout your house. Now, the easiest way to change your water filter out is just shut this off. Now water's shut off to everything. And now I'll show you how to change the filter on your fridge. But I just wanted to show you where that comes out. Now, actually, that white hose that I have, I'll show you that too since I'm down here. There's that white hose there. It's running down. Actually, it's fed from my sink in my kitchen. And it's running down. It's running down here all the way along my floor. They're actually hanging down. That's not good. I'll have to put it back up. But that's what's feeding my fridge. That's where the water comes from for my fridge. And so If you ever had a problem with that white line, and it could happen anywhere, shut your main off. Okay, so now that I have my water main shut off, I pushed my fridge back in place. Now remember, if you pull your fridge out and you have a water supply line, be careful when you push it back in to make sure that you don't pinch that cord, that line. You don't want to break it. So I'm just going to relieve the water pressure in my fridge. Just get a container, and I'm just going to relieve the water pressure. And you'll see that as it empties itself, because it probably has about a few liters of water inside the fridge, that will slowly empty out. And you just want to empty out as much water out of your fridge before you change it, just so you don't get water inside your fridge anywhere. You don't want it going all over the place. It's a mess. Plus, you just don't want water getting into any electrical components. So I'll come back to that in a sec as soon as I'm done draining them. Okay, so there you go. You can see that sort of just dripping out slowly. So that's when you know your water pressure is pretty much all out of your fridge. Then you can proceed with changing the filter. Okay, so in my Samsung fridge, there's some beer up there and whatnot. My Samsung fridge, you can see here, let's just take a closer look at this. So this is in the lock position, and actually on this filter, it actually tells you here's the lock position, here's unlock, and so you turn counterclockwise to unlock it, clockwise to lock it. So what you want to do is give it a good twist. You may need a pair of pliers or something, but in this case it's coming out fairly easily for me. You can see it's moving. Got it twisted around. Okay, so now I'm gonna go get myself a pair of pliers, because there's a seal in the back and I can't quite get it out. So I'm gonna show you that. I'm just gonna get something to grab it and pull it out, because now it's fully unseated and I can pop it out. But like I said, it's kind of stuck in there. After 6 months, it kind of gets, the seal gets stuck in the back, which is a good thing. Keeps the water from going into your fridge, right? Okay, I'm just grabbing these Leatherman that I have. I'm gonna grab this and see if I can pull it out. There, it comes out fairly easily. And now, there is my filter. And if you don't know what filter you need for your particular fridge, you should be able to look at the filter that you have in your fridge, and there should be a number on there. This one's whatever, WFDA 2900020B-S. And then if you look at, so this is all the filter is that, and that's garbage at this point. And then if you look at your furnace or your filter, you'll see which filter it replaces. And let me find that in a sec here. Okay, so actually it was just right on the front here, so you can see replacement cartridge DA2900020B, and this is what I had in there. Actually, I had a Samsung in there. I had this Denali Pure, right? And so it's WF0029 or DA2900020B. I don't have the S. Now, remember, you don't need this video. Once you can also follow the instructions that will come inside of your kit. There is, although sometimes when you get these kits from Amazon, it won't give you all the leaflets and stuff. So it's a good idea to keep the box from this water filter, because you know this is what you need, and then you can always go and order online. Keep the box. Just always remember what water filter you need so that you can get it. This one, it says it's actually for a 4-door. Actually, I have a 3-door French door fridge, so it's like, it definitely fits mine. All right, and now I'll just take it out of the box and I'll put one in. Okay, so here's my filter, and I'm just going to take the plastic wrap off there. And on the top, there is this cap. Just take that cap off, and that's the end with a rubber. You can see there's two rubber O-rings on the end. Those are the ends that we want to put into the fridge. It kind of only goes in one way. You can't actually put it in any other way, right? So here you go. So you can see again, lock. It's really not too difficult to put in. There's what it looks like at the very back. Let me grab a flashlight so you can see it. Not that you need to, but just so you can see what it looks like in the back there. So on the back, you've got this where your filter kind of sets in place, and behind there is where the water supply comes in to the back there. So now we're just going to put this in. You can sort of feel it seated in place. Just kind of twist it in. Just turning it. It's kind of going to be pushing it and turning it a bit. You can really feel it sort of seating in place. And now it can't go any further. It's seated in place. It's nice. Now they do often come with a little set of stickers if you want to put on there as to when you did your last change, but you don't really need that. And the reason is because we have our annoying light. So now we have our annoying light, and all we do now with this light, now that we have changed a filter, and it actually says filter reset, you can see that there. So now that we have that, I'm just going to push and hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and it's off. It's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back downstairs, turn my water supply on, or if you're in a condo, turn your supply on from under your sink. And then again, you're following the instructions in the box. You're going to want to run 2-3 big jars of water through. The reason is because those filters use carbon filters, and there's sometimes little particles in there. You don't want to drink that. It's not going to kill you, but just to flush out the system. So I'm going to go turn my water on, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to start flushing it out. Okay, well, I just thought I'd show you turning it back on. So again, you see, this is shut off, and now you can hear the water supply going, because there was a room inside of the water, inside of the fridge that had been emptied when we emptied the fridge. So you could hear water run for a sec, but now I can't hear any water running. That's a good thing, because if there was a leak in my filter housing up in my fridge, you'd be able to hear the water running. But now water supply is turned back on. Okay, now that my water supply is turned back on, when I go to flush out the water in the fridge, you should hear some air bubbles. That's just normal. It's just going to kind of maybe scare you a little bit. You'll be able to hear it kind of, so those kind of noise is just air in the line. It got created by changing out that filter. Let's run it. I don't know, this is probably holds 12 cups of water. Run it 3 or 4 times. And yeah, and then you're done. And you have successfully changed out the filter out of your fridge. It's a good, healthy thing to do. Don't leave your fridge filter in there for years and years and years like most people do. Change it out. Sorry, one thing I wanted to mention, again, just a reminder, keep your box. It'll tell you what filter you need. If you have to order it online, keep your box. Again, inside there you see there's instructions, so you can follow those as well, but it's always nice to get an idea of what it actually looks like. The last thing you should always do whenever you're working on any kind of water related project and you've shut the water off and you've turned it back on is check for leaks. You can hear it, right? Listen, let your ears do the listening. I don't see any water on the floor. And then what you should also do, and I think it tells you in the instructions, you want to just make sure you don't see any water leaks. You know, you don't want to see any leaks coming out from the back of there. Again, make sure you're in this lock position. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says lock on here. Make sure that lock position and that arrow is faced up and it's seated in tightly. You can't turn it to the right anymore. You know, and then just make sure you look underneath, and you see any water coming down, you would see it. You would see water coming through, pouring down. There's a lot of water pressure in there. So that's sort of the last check that you want to do before you say you're done. And we're done.